Hi, this is Pastor Dave Munsinger. I oversee the care and counseling ministry at Cypress Bible Church. Today's devotion is titled From Fear to Freedom. And I want to read a few scriptures to you in the New Testament. This theme of living out of our spiritual freedom is a rather good topic for us today. I think a lot of people today we're trying to live as we used to live. And for the last 6 months, there's been a lot of fear in this country. A lot of fear over illness and fear over multiple issues, social justice issues, so forth. And so we're trying to figure out how to just live again. And the good news is kids are back in school. My two boys are back in college. My daughter's back in high school. Cy-Fair School District is up and running again. School districts around the country are up and running. Our church has our youth and children's ministry open again. Our adult groups are able to meet again. And so those are good things. But as we start this climb out of kind of a cave of fear, moving into a green pasture of freedom, I think these Bible verses can help us. John 8:32 says, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Therefore, if the Son sets you free, you really will be free." So part of that is just believing the gospel and applying it. You really are free. You have to believe that about yourself because Christ has purchased your freedom. Romans 6 says this, "Having now been liberated from sin, you became committed to righteousness. And since you've been liberated from sin, you have your fruit, which results in holiness and eternal life." And so Paul says in 2 Corinthians 3 that now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And Paul in Galatians 5 says, For Christ has liberated us to be free, so therefore stand firm and don't submit again to a yoke of slavery. For you are called to be free and to serve one another through love. And so I think these Bible verses gives us the source of our freedom, which is the work of Christ and his grace towards us. And it motivates us to live as free men and women who have been purchased by the blood of Christ. And therefore we should not be controlled by fear. For where fear reigns, freedom is squashed and there is no faith. And one of the reasons why I wanted to read these verses for our devotional today is I was running with my wife and another friend of ours on Saturday, and this woman told us of her son who's 17 years old and is a senior in high school, and she's upset because her son chose to do his senior year in high school online rather than go back to the high school to be in-person learning. And it's his senior year and he is fearful. He's scared to death that he's going to get COVID and he's going to die. And he's a very healthy young boy and he has no risk factors. And so my concern is that the fear that has spread across this country for the last 6 months is going to affect a generation for a long time to come. And the only way through this is living out of the gospel, is us reminding ourselves of the freedom that we have, that the purpose of Christ and his salvation was to give us freedom and to not be ruled by fear. And so I pray that you'll meditate on these verses today, that this would be an encouragement to you to live out of freedom and not out of fear, because Christ has purchased our freedom, and that's good news.